Fam, what's up? It's Kyle Henderson of Bama Football on YouTube. Happy Thanksgiving to you and your loved ones. I hope you have a fantastic Thanksgiving today. Let me know inside the comment box who you're thankful for, what you're thankful for, and I want to know this specifically. What is your favorite side dish? So when you call in today, I'm going to ask you about your favorite side dish and let me know where you're watching from and let me know about that favorite side dish. Kyle Henderson of Bama Football on YouTube coming to you from beautiful Tuscaloosa, Alabama. It's been a great week. There was some updates yesterday from Coach Saban that I think are definitely noteworthy, and those two are at the top of the board. So you have Deontay Lawson and Jalen Key. Those guys have practiced this week going into this pivotal game against the Auburn Tigers. You also have Devontae Smith, who plays in the secondary. He's been out all season long, but we've seen him over the last two games. George, what's going on? Happy Thanksgiving to you and yours as well. Gremlin, thanks for being a member of this YouTube channel. To become a fan funder, hit the join button at the top of this page, right next to the subscribe button. I appreciate you guys being here. To everybody inside the comment box as well. Mary, I see you as well. Happy Merry Thanksgiving. Yeah, happy Merry Thanksgiving to you as well. Jeff, what's going on? Happy Thanksgiving as well to you. And I think when you look to these two noteworthy injuries up at the top, Deontay Lawson, the signal caller of this defense at the inside linebacker position, this is big news. The defense has been playing at a very high level, and for the most part this season, they've been pretty healthy. Deontay Lawson's been dealing with the ankle, but I think overall he's played through that, and Jeff Allen's done a great job getting him up to speed. And I think it's important that he does play in this Auburn game against the Tigers because, look, all eyes continue to be on Alabama. Alabama is under a microscope, as we've talked about all week. Even I'm sure you guys caught the coaches show last night talking about the playoff implications and what could happen. All that type of rat poison aside, Alabama needs to win against Auburn. No doubt about it. I don't think there's a set score that they have to win by, whatever. I think they just need to go out and continue to play 4 quarters of football and show the rest of the world that this is a consistent team and how they perform in the back end. And then what's going to happen is going to happen. I think if you look to, some of the different teams and all that other stuff and kind of the factors, you can get lost in what this team has done. But how they transformed has really been one of the best storylines of all of college football. I love the fact that Devontae Smith is also back for the Alabama Crimson Tide in the secondary. Keys to the game, and I'll get to my callers in just a second. Thank you very much. We got Mike calling in, and then we got a 256 followed by another 256. So you guys just hang tight. I'll be right with you guys right here on Thanksgiving. How's it going, Matthew Pate? I see you inside the comment box. Price Man, what's up? I see you. Show is so bad, man. You need to take a day off. No, man, no days off during the football season. Look, I think, we go heavy, and this is what we do. So I appreciate you watching, and hit the thumbs up, like, and subscribe. And by the way, look, I had to ask my boss about this show, but I'm just kidding. I'm my own boss. And I like to work. I like to put in the work, and I like to put in the time. And this is honestly a passion of mine. And, even if I had all the money in the world, which I definitely don't, I would probably still do this because this is what I really like to do. I'm passionate about it, and really appreciate you guys being here. So I think when you look to keys to the game, Alabama certainly has to stop Auburn's run, and I think that they've been able to do that all season long. Alabama is a team that is certainly built on defense, and they've continued to show that. And when I highlight Tommy Rees's name underneath on this graphic, he was nominated for the Broyles Award, which goes to the most outstanding. That's my call-in line. I'll connect that in a second. He has been awarded for the top assistant in college football among, several other finalists. And I was thinking about it. I've mentioned this a couple times. I think his transformation has been great. And I think the growth of him overall has been really good. But Kevin Still has really implemented this defense and really brought this defense to where it's kind of been the standard for Alabama over the last several years. And I was thinking about, favorite memories of the Iron Bowl. And this is going to kind of sound strange, but it's not necessarily a favorite point of mine, but it's something that I remember the most about the Iron Bowl was when, I went down to the Iron Bowl. This was in 2017, my first year covering Alabama, and Kevin Still led that team. And man, the defense was phenomenal, and they completely shut Alabama down, and it was all about physicality. And that's been a part of Kevin Steele's mantra, has been physicality. So when you look to this team, they're complete in every single facet, from the defensive line, interior linebackers, outside linebackers, secondary. This is just a team that is certainly complete in all facets of the game. And I love the updates up at the top that Deontay Lawson and Jalen Key have practiced and they're good to go. What's up, Ty? I see you inside the comment box around the sports table. It's Ty Hayes. Join me on Wednesday. What's up? Go follow him. Thank you very much, Mamba. What's up? I see you inside the comment box. Carl, happy Thanksgiving to you. Luke, what's up, man? I appreciate you inside the comment box as well. He's coming in from Weaver, Alabama. We talked about Iron Bowl predictions yesterday, and I think for the most part, everyone is expecting Alabama to handle Auburn, and rightfully so. I mean, when you compare these two teams, and I'm not even looking at the New Mexico State game, I'm just kind of looking overall. I think that, Alabama certainly has the edge on, pretty much every single position, but the leveler is just the fact that this game seems to go sideways every once in a while because of just the mystique of it, right? And Hugh Freeze isn't the boogeyman, but the statistics are they've played 5 times, and Coach Saban is 3-2 versus Hugh Freeze. Now, both of those wins came when Hugh Freeze was at Ole Miss. Coach Saban is 11-5 overall against the Auburn Tigers. And the thing about Auburn, it's not necessarily, Luke, I'm going to bring that up all the time. I'm going to bring up that my New Mexico State Aggies beat Auburn 100 times. So I'm going to get to this in just a second because this is important. Ty is asking, hey, quick question, is that playoff predictor accurate? And I'll explain that because I've been telling people to go to ESPN and check out the All-State playoff rankings, but I just checked them just recently, and there's something to chew on. I'll get to my callers in just a second. I got 4 on. I'll get to you guys in just a second. Carl, I appreciate you telling everybody to like and subscribe. Okay, so this game has a lot of mystique to it, and clearly so. I mean, a lot on the line, and all eyes are going to be on Alabama and Auburn. The forecast should be beautiful, 63, and partly cloudy, partly sunny, whatever, down at the barn. So my favorite dish, and I want to get yours inside the comment box as well. Let me know right now, what's your favorite Thanksgiving dish inside the comment box? For me, we usually do some smoke. That's what we've been having, smoked turkey. I think we might have fried turkey today, but I am a big mashed potatoes and gravy guy. Like, that's me 100%. In fact, got up this morning and I went to my workout group at 6 a.m. and we got after it 100%. I mean, my calories this morning, I burned 825 calories. We were working out with cinder blocks. I posted a clip on my Twitter, so we were definitely killing it this morning. So I want to hear from you inside the comment box. So what is your favorite side inside the comment box? Okay, so Ty asked about the playoff predictor. Okay, so Allstate has, or ESPN, if you go on their website, they have a playoff indicator, and it basically pulls out some scenarios. So this is this is a computer program, but for the most part of the season, they've had Alabama with a really good shot to make the playoffs if they're able to beat Georgia in the title game. That's beating Auburn tomorrow and beating Georgia in the title game. What's up, Branson? I see you inside the comment box. And this ESPN playoff predictor isn't a part of the playoff committee, but it's based on numbers or whatever, has been very, very favorable to Alabama this season. But if you went and checked it yesterday, things changed. So, and I've been asking this for a while now. So even if Alabama is to beat Georgia, and you put all the playoff scenarios in, this is what it has for Alabama. So this is if Alabama beats Auburn and beats Georgia, the playoff indicator is saying that Alabama has only a 32% chance to make the playoffs. Again, it's a computer program. It's been fun to look at and fun to track. There's still games that are taking place. So I just wanted to bring that to your attention. So and like I've been saying before, look, Georgia might have already punched their ticket because their playoff resume is so good overall this season. I've been showing the graphic about their playoff resume and how good the Georgia Bulldogs have been this season. And, so there you have it right there. I mean, if Alabama even wins the SEC championship game, this computer program is saying that they only have a 32% chance to make the playoffs. Now, here's Georgia. If Georgia loses the SEC title game to Alabama, they still have, and this is again a computer program, a 76% chance. So we've been looking at the numbers all different ways. What does it mean? Well, what it means is Alabama has to beat Auburn, and they have to beat Georgia. We've known this for several weeks now in the row, and I think it's fun to watch the college football playoff show, and a lot of that is kind of rat poison and gets us talking. But we've known since they lost to Texas, literally back in week 2, that this team had to win every single game for the rest of the season, because that's how you have to roll in college football, and that's fine. You're always in the playoffs in college football, and that's fine. So you got to roll with it. What's up, Pops? I see you inside the comment box. This is my dad. What's up, man? He's saying green bean casserole. Really? Green bean casserole, huh? He's out in Sandia Park, New Mexico. Green bean casserole. I don't know. That sounds okay, Pops, but I don't know. Mashed potatoes and gravy. With that said, we go to the phone lines. We got Mike in Austin coming in, and then we got a 256-606 and 256. Mike in Austin, let's do it. Mike, happy Thanksgiving, man. I appreciate you joining me. Thank you very much. First of all, man, I hope you're having a blessed Thanksgiving day. I'm sure you guys haven't started eating. Oh, and by the way, everyone, the 49ers play tonight, okay? So go Niners. They play on Thanksgiving night. Mike, leading up to the show, man, give me your favorite Thanksgiving side. Mike, hold on. Let's see what happened. Mike, are you there? Mike, I can't hear you, man. Let me see what's going on. Maybe I'm having some audio issues. 1 second. Let's see. Mike should be good. Mike. All right, Mike. I'm gonna try to get to you another time, man. Call back again. All right, we got a 2-5. Oh, I know why the call line isn't connected. Give me one second. Be right.
And can manage your callers from the call-in studio web interface.
All right, we should be good. 606, you're up. Let's do it. Thanks for being patient, man. Sorry about that. Happy Thanksgiving to you. Who am I on the line with, and where are you calling in from?
Happy Thanksgiving. My name is Anthony. I'm from Kentucky.
Oh yeah, I think we spoke on Tuesday. Was it, Anthony? Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Give me your favorite Thanksgiving side, Anthony, before we get going.
I gotta go with the ham.
The ham on the side.
I
Wow.
prefer it over turkey.
Just so you got the turkey and then you got the ham. So okay, I didn't even anticipate ham kind of being a favorite side, but it is what it is. So yeah, I like the ham. So Anthony, with that said, man, welcome to the show. What's on your mind today? Go ahead, man. Take it away.
So what I've had on my mind here is since the newest college football playoff rankings came out on Tuesday, pretty much everything stayed the same except Washington moved up.
Mm-hmm.
The whole thing that's going on with Florida State right now, where they lost their starting quarterback, if they win out, do you think they'll still be in, or do you think that they're going to, it's going to depend on how they play with their backup quarterback? Do you think?
I think. Okay. Yeah. No. Great question.
Alabama or Oregon.
Yeah. Great question. I think that when you look to Florida State, very interesting team, and a couple of things that stand out about Florida State. Number one, they played a fantastic season. They've been really good, and then obviously, the quarterback going out in the last game was a big blow to their overall team. I think going forward in terms of how good this team really is, I think we've all questioned their overall resume for the most part. How good is this team? And call line at the bottom of the screen on a ticker, 205-850-1994. I'll get to my next calls in just a second. But when we zoom into Florida State, we see that they've won 11 games, 11-0 on the season, 8-0 in ACC play, number 7 scoring offense. But the odds to win the national title have dropped significantly with out Jordan Travis. And my question to the committee is, can this team still perform at that high of a level with the backup quarterback? And I think you have to rank the teams how they're playing of today. The scary thing was the committee talked about this particular fact that said that they looked at the fact that they were trailing 13-0 against North Alabama last week. That the bigger thing was that stood out to them that they were able to score 58 in a row to beat North Alabama. And I was like, wait, they were down 13-0. So they're not holding Florida State, in my opinion, to the same standard that they're holding Alabama. Because if Alabama, and I've said this a million times, if Alabama was trailing Chattanooga 13-0, can you imagine Alabama would be basically kicked out of the playoffs? So I don't, it's going to be interesting to see how Florida State responds against Florida, who also was playing with their backup quarterback because their quarterback broke his collarbone last week. So you have 2 backup quarterbacks taking place, and then you have Louisville, who Florida State will play in the ACC title. So I don't know. I think that Florida State, in my opinion, I wouldn't be surprised if they lose, honestly. Even the ACC champion, I'm still anticipating Florida State to lose. And even if they do get to that 13-0 mark, which is amazing, I still don't think that they get into the playoffs. Now, let me ask everybody in the comment box this. Listen up, please. Okay, listen up. This is very important. If Alabama would have beaten Texas, okay, and they were undefeated, would Alabama be ranked number 2? Would they be ranked above Washington? Would they be ranked above Florida State? Because that loss that they had at Texas, it basically has boxed them out to number 8 this entire season, when in fact the teams that should be ranked are right now at this very point in time. But I think that is continuing to hold Alabama in the back end. What else you got, Anthony?
The only other question I have, I want your opinion on this. So, say if Texas loses in the Big 12 championship, and say that Georgia does beat Bama, do you think that Louisville would have a chance to get in since they have just one loss?
No.
I know on the playoff predictor, they have like a 3% chance, but I was just wondering how their path would be.
Yeah, I don't, the ACC to me just doesn't scream, overwhelming amount of talent. That's always kind of been, how I felt about it this year. When you looked at Texas and their resume, you see that they're plus 1,400 to win the college football title. I kind of label them in the back end with Washington and Florida State as more pretenders than contenders. With that said, they're living off that win against Alabama. But what's interesting about Texas' resume is they've lost to number 13 Oklahoma, who hasn't been playing well either. And I get it. It was at a neutral site setting. I just think, the way that this team has been trending, and I get it. They beat Iowa State by 10 points last week, but the 2 games before that, they only won by a combined 6 points. One was with their backup quarterback. Their strength of schedule is pretty good. If this team wins out, I think that, they're probably the one team to get in as that 4 spot. But overall, I don't think they have the strongest resume. But, I wouldn't be surprised at the game against Texas Tech or even against whoever they're playing. I think I'll have to check it who they're playing in the Big 12 title game. But, I would still anticipate maybe Texas and Florida State to lose. Anything else, Anthony, before we get to my next caller?
No, that's it.
All right, man. Well, I appreciate it.
Happy Thanksgiving.
You too, man. Thank you, Anthony. Happy Thanksgiving to you too, man. All right, we got Mike in Kentucky coming up, and then 256. I appreciate you guys being patient. Happy Thanksgiving to you guys. Thank you very much for joining me today. I really appreciate you guys. And as you guys are saying, George is saying inside the comment box, ranked number 2. Cara is saying 1 or 2, and I'm asking you if Alabama had beat Texas. It's just that one loss, and the way that Alabama is playing at this point in time, you got to think they're either number 1 or number 2. And I say that, and I ask that because look at their overall resume. This resume is amazing, right? 9-game win streak. They would have been on a 10-game win streak. They would have then beaten 4 top 25 teams. These are current. You got number 12, Ole Miss, number 14, LSU, number 21, Tennessee. Everything else would have changed. It was just that shows you that how much they were penalized by that one loss. And I get it. You can't lose. in the college football season, but the way that this team's overall resume, it's like they have this strong resume, but that one loss has certainly, put things on the back burner for Alabama. All right, Mike in Austin, let's do it. Mike, I appreciate you calling in, man. Happy Thanksgiving.
Thank you, Kyle. Happy Thanksgiving to you as well. And my favorite Thanksgiving side dish has got to be the deviled eggs, because,
yes.
You have deviled eggs, and then you have people that can make really good deviled eggs, man. And if they got a little bacon sprinkled on top of them, something like that, to me, I can eat them and be full of deviled eggs before the turkey hits the table, man. So. But, so it's got to be the deviled eggs. But, hey, you was mentioning, like, the Broyles Award and, Tommy Rees, I guess, being a candidate or being nominated for the Broyles Award. And, but the more you think about that, the more I can see that as being true and being credible. The reason why, because if you looked at where Bama's offense was the first couple of games of the year, all they had was all we knew we had was a decent running game. That's all we knew we had. You think about the beginning of the year, they were talking about the receivers dropping passes. I mean, the offensive line was just they were the worst unit on the team. And then they really didn't know who there was quarterback controversy. Not really controversy. Quarterback position was unsettled, So I do think Tommy Rees has done an excellent job of taking kind of that confusion, that mayhem in the first couple of games of the year and turning it into the quarterback we got now, and turning Milroe and from getting benched the third game of the season into a possible Heisman Trophy candidate, So I think Tommy Rees has had a lot to do with that. So I can totally see him being up for the Broyles Award because, they talk about how good of a job Saban's done this year, which he has done a good job. But the reason why, because of the offense is coming around. The offense word is now to where it was on week 3 is night and day. And I think Tommy Rees has had a lot to do with that. So I think him being nominated for the Broyles Award is 100%. And I hope he wins it, to be honest with you.
That's a good point. I mean, because I've been saying Kevin Steele, up for this award, but when you look collectively too at the offense and how it's transformed, and I still think that the offense is even going to get better through these next, 3-4 games, whatever Alabama has left on the schedule. But I like the fact on the defensive component because it's been so consistent from the jump, right? Like this defense has been really good. I mean, there's been a couple hiccups maybe in that Texas game or whatever, but to see how they've transformed has been really remarkable. And I'm saying that from this year to under Pete Golding. I mean, this is just because the defense has always been criticized under Golding. Can you imagine if Kevin Steele was a DC these last, 3 seasons? I think Alabama probably has a couple more national titles, to be honest. I think it's also a testament to Coach Saban and what he's done with this team, replacing your OC and replacing your DC. I mean, that's a challenging feat for any type of head coach. I don't care what type of 5 stars you have on your team or whatever, but to be able to go and replace your guys, Pete Golding and, Bill O'Brien, and have new guys step in under the Alabama program and to be able to manage those guys correctly, to have these guys sitting at another 10-win season is just phenomenal. What else you got for me, Mike, today?
Well, you're exactly right. I mean, what makes a leader great, what makes a CEO great or a coach great is the people that they put in around them. And that's one thing, like we all know that Nick Saban has done. All these coaches that he brought in and saved their careers and remolded their careers, basically, he's done that. So Saban's been a great game day coach, but what really makes him great is the CEO that he is, the people that he puts around him. But I just want to remind all of Bama fans and all that hang in there, man. There's still a lot of football to be played. And as of today, we're on the outside looking in. Yeah. But still, there's hope. I mean, there's a lot of football left to be played. I think Michigan's going to go down this weekend. I think possibly Florida State can go down this weekend. Maybe Washington, Oregon is going to go down this weekend. So there's still a chance that we get in the playoff, a good chance, in my opinion, hopefully. So there's still a lot of football to be played. So just hang in there, Bama fans, because like I said, there's got to be losses in front of us, but there will be starting this weekend and next weekend. There will be. So, but all right, Kyle, thank you for taking my call, man, and happy Thanksgiving to you, and happy Thanksgiving to everybody. You take care. Have a great day.
All right, man. Take it easy. Thanks for calling in, Mike. Mike out in Austin with the Thanksgiving call. Appreciate it, man. Really good caller. We have a 256 323. 256s consecutively and one call in line open. Kyle Henderson and Bama Football on YouTube. I appreciate you guys joining me today. Here's a weekend look of what's taking place in the college football world. Here are the top 8 teams and who those teams are playing this weekend. I'll read them out real quick before I get to my next call, and then I'll answer this question at the bottom of the screen. Georgia takes on Georgia Tech. Ohio State takes on Michigan. That game's at the Big House. Michigan takes on Ohio State. Number 4, Florida State goes to the Swamp and takes on Florida. 2 backup quarterbacks taking place in that game. You have Washington at 11-0 taking on rival Washington State. You have Oregon at 10-1 taking on Oregon State. You have Texas at 10-1 taking on Texas Tech. And then you have Bama traveling to the barn to take on the Auburn Tigers. All right, 256. Let's get it right now. There's 3 of them, so just I'm going to pick one of them. Good morning. You're on the line with Kyle Henderson. Who am I on the line with and where are you calling in from?
It's Boots, Kyle.
Hey, what's up?
Gonville, Alabama. How you doing?
What's up, Boots? Good morning. I appreciate it. Happy Thanksgiving. I hope you're having a fantastic day with your family, or about to, clearly. But anyways, what's on your mind, Boots? But before we get going, what is your favorite Thanksgiving side? I need to know this.
Our favorite side, I guess, is probably dressing, macaroni and cheese or whatever. Happy Thanksgiving to you, Kyle.
Yeah.
Happy Thanksgiving to you. And I want to call on back in because, I told you that Miro would be a number 1 draft pick. You laughed about it when I said it by the end of the year. What did I say? So let me tell you something. People need to quit talking about, Auburn, they lost that cat right. They're going to come in all fired up. Look, man, we don't care nothing about them. We ain't got time to play around with our little brother. We got to go and whoop them down.
Mm-hmm.
See? That's the main thing. So they need to get their mind right, go on down there and dominate them and get it over with. Because we got bigger fish to fry, Kyle.
Mm-hmm.
We're going Look, and ain't no need to Georgia. They think they thumping everybody around. They don't thump everybody, but they know the Kings is coming, see? Mm-hmm. And what we got to do, everybody want to worry about the polls, the rankings. We don't care nothing about that.
Mm-hmm.
Now, and I know, if we go down there and whoop Georgia like we supposed to after we dominate Auburn, that we're going to go claim number 1, see? We don't care. We just going to go claim it. That's how you do it. If they rank number 1 when we beat them down there, who number 1 then? See? We Alabama. So all they got to do is beat Bama.
Mm-hmm.
See, they don't need to listen to none of that naysaying crap. Just beat Bama. Every time they've been Bama this year, they dominated.
Mm-hmm.
Just beat Bama. That's all they got to do, and they win out.
Mm-hmm.
So, Kyle, I like to tell you, I want to see if old Lawson's coming back. We need old Dante down the stretch.
Mm-hmm.
We need a big guy. And who is going to play in number 41's place?
Broswell, he'll be able to play in this game because what happened was that targeting call, since it wasn't the first quarter, it just affected the second half. He got ejected for the rest of the game, but it affected really that second half of the game. So he's able to play from the get-go against Auburn right away.
Oh, man. Well, we on full board, and that's what I'm saying. So we need to go down there and just dominate them. Look, dominate, because we got bigger fish to fry.
Yeah.
We're going to whoop Georgia.
Mm-hmm.
They thinking they the big boys on the block, but we've been the big boy forever, and we're going to show them who the big boys is when we get there. So I think they'll be fired up, and I just think that they'll beat them.
Yeah.
That we'll beat them.
And that's kind of and that's why I think if this Alabama team is able to beat this Georgia team, look how good. I mean, that's why I don't really agree with those rankings or whatever that we looked at the beginning that says 32% chance, because if Alabama is able to take care of business against Auburn and then beats this Georgia team who has an incredible resume now that they've had this, 3-game gauntlet and they have 3 top 25 wins. I mean, look at the statistics right here. This Georgia team is the best team right now in college football other than Alabama. So if Alabama is able to beat this team, I think that this team 100% gets in. I mean, it would be a complete robbery, as we talked about, if this team gets left out, if they're able to beat Georgia, because this Georgia team, how they've kind of transformed as well. I mean, they're playing at the top of the game. I mean, the 2-time defending champ, they'd be winning, I think, like 30 games in a row or 29 or whatever. Alabama beats that team. You don't think people are going to be talking about it? 1,000,000%. And this team, the way that Alabama is trending and the momentum that they have and kind of that chip that they continue to have on their shoulder makes it one of the most dangerous teams in all of college football as well.
Yep, you're right, Kyle. All right, one more thing I wanted to say is this right here. Now look, everybody's gonna have to hang on and just look him. We're gonna ride Mill Road. They're gonna have to ride him down the stretch. You know, they got to ride him, and everybody got to get on this. We're gonna have to ride Mill Road down the stretch. If they ride Mill Road down the stretch, we'll kick their rear end. And happy Thanksgiving to you. And roll tide, because you know I can feel it. We gonna win out.
Yep.
You hear me, Kyle?
Yep.
You hear me? You one thing you can say, Boot told me, we gonna win out.
Yeah.
Because we got to take it back. I say it's about what we must do. You know, it was one time in 19, I can tell you what year it was. Old guy said, Bill Carey. Now, you know, I wasn't a Bill Curry man, none of that. But I tell you one thing he did say that made plenty of sense is one time we about to get beat, and we come back, whoop, Kentucky, and you know what he said? He said, "Where our program at right now?" And he said, "You know, we had to win that ball game." Well, where our program at right now, we got to win out. Period. It don't even make no. I'm just telling you, I've been watching Bama since 1971. 1971, been watching their games on TV. Listen to me. They got the right stuff. And what they got to do, don't worry about what nobody say. Just go out there and play.
Yep.
And if they ride Old Mill roll down the stretch, guy, we'll be horsing that SEC trophy in about 2 weeks.
Yep.
You hear me?
Yep.
Roll Tide, Kyle.
All right, man. Take it easy, Boots. Thank you so much, man. Roll Tide to you. All right, that was Boots calling out from Lake Gunnersville. I appreciate catching up with Boots. Matthew inside the comment box is saying, Kyle, if Bama were to get left out, how do you think this would affect conference scheduling or out-of-conference scheduling going forward? A lot of these out-of-conference games are already scheduled, so I don't know if it's really going to affect it. I mean, this was a particular year that you caught Texas, you know, when they were red hot at the beginning of the season, and I think it also impacts Alabama that they lost at home at Bryant-Denny Stadium, you know, one of the challenging places in all of college football. So early season losses, and usually in seasons you can overcome those, but this has been one particular year because of that logjam up at the top 5 that it's just, you know, put Alabama at that 8 spot since the college football rankings were released. So I don't know if it has a large implication, but going forward, well beyond that, I think what we've learned is it's better to just schedule kind of these cupcakes and have a lighter strength of schedule, because in my opinion, it feels that teams are being rewarded for more style points than they are strength of schedule. And I point to this particular team, Oregon. And I think when you look at Oregon, this is what stands out. Now, let me ask you this. This is one of the teams that I have a really hard time with why they are ranked above Alabama. And that's why I asked you earlier, if Alabama was undefeated, if they had beaten Texas, they would 1,000,000% be ranked over Washington and Oregon. This Oregon team, listen up, this is really important. This Oregon team does not have a win over a top 25 team. So in the latest college football playoff rankings, when the rankings came out, I get it. They won against Utah earlier in the season when Utah was ranked. But right now, Utah is not ranked because they are not playing like a top 25 team. So overall, this Oregon team does not have a top 25 team. This team, it has style points, 1,000,000%, right? Number 2 scoring, number 2 total offense, number 16 defense, number 10 scoring defense, number 64 strength of schedule. Bo Nix probably going to win the Heisman Trophy, which is crazy. So this is a team that I just find, why is this team ranked over Alabama when look? So in this bottom left column underneath, lost to number 4 Washington, no top 25 wins, right? And Alabama has 3 of them. 3 of them. So, they just, I think they're just being done wrong against Oregon. With that said, we go back to the phone lines. We got a 256. Hey, thanks for being patient. You're on the line with Kyle Henderson, who I'm on the line with, and where are you calling in from?
What's up, big homie? It's Luke.
Hey, what's up, Luke? I appreciate you calling in, man. Happy Thanksgiving. Tell me about your favorite Thanksgiving side, man, before we dive into it.
Oh, man. Macaroni or some macaroni and cheese stuff and all that,
All right. You're with Boots, man. You've had the macaroni and cheese too, man. I told you guys earlier in the show, I'm all about I'm surprised. Like, what you guys don't do? Like, I'm sure you guys do. Everybody does mashed potatoes and gravy. You know what was crazy? I don't know if this was crazy, but it was unique. Listen up. They said, Luke, Roydale Williams said, and I don't know if this is like more of a Southern thing, and I need to try this, but he said his favorite side was cabbage.
I don't like cabbage.
That's what I would, I was like, so I need to try Roydale Williams. He probably, his mom, his grandma's probably hooking it up, but I don't know. Anyway, so what's up, Luke? What's on your mind today, man?
Man, all right, so I'm going to be a little bit of the devil's advocate today, man. Josh Pate?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, so I was watching his thing yesterday, and, man, the dude got in my head, bro. So, all right, I agree with you on Oregon. Okay. Oregon should not be ranked ahead of it.
Okay.
All right, they shouldn't, just because we have the wins. I don't know if because we lost to number 7 Texas, I think they were at the time.
Yeah.
And they lost to number, what were they, 4 or 5? Mm-hmm. Washington, whatever.
Yep.
So I don't know if that's what they're looking at or the style points, whatever it is. But look, bro, if we were in the NBA right now or the NFL talking about all this, and let's just say the Panthers just started playing out of this world.
Yep.
Or whoever, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Bro, we lost the game. We got to eat it. You know what I'm saying? If Texas wins out and it ends up between us and Texas, now if it ends up between us and Oregon, I'll be pissed if they let Oregon in.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? That I can live with. But if they do end up that way, then we got to eat it. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
We have to. And we can't be mad about it. That's just how it is. We lost the game. Doesn't matter. And then the other thing with Florida State, we were saying, look, man, their starting quarterback's not there anymore. But you know what? Look what Ohio State did in 2014. They won with their 3rd string quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So it happened, but they still won the games. The team, you can't punish the team because they don't have the same quarterback anymore.
Mm-hmm.
You feel me? That's punishing everybody for one person not being there.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody else played them games.
Mm-hmm.
You feel me?
Yeah, I just think and so look, while
it depends on how.
But Luke, my counter to that is Jordan Travis is a different type of player. And he wouldn't have made the backup quarterback, and we'll get to see him, against Florida and against Louisville. But I don't think that quarterback is the caliber of Jordan Travis. Therefore, he doesn't make those type of throws in the next upcoming games. Now, he's going to have those opportunities. And plus, Florida State, they should have lost to Clemson. They should have lost to Boston College. Florida State is a pretender. Everybody knows it, and everybody is scared to admit it.
Check this out, though, Kyle. What if Rodemaker is better than Jordan Travis? What if he was just younger, sitting on the bench behind Jordan Travis because Jordan Travis was established?
Well, he'll have those opportunities to showcase that ability against Florida and Louisville. But I think just overall, and this guy could be a good quarterback. It's just like the fact of the matter is, though, Luke, like Florida State is a pretender. Like this team, same thing. Look, Alabama against Florida State right now. Who you guys take? I mean, I know this is Alabama-centric show, but everybody is taking the last time that people believed in Florida State and they had Alabama rearranged their entire program. After that, Florida State's program had to fire 2 coaches and to get back to this point. It's the same thing. ACC is completely it's a terrible conference. Terrible. Louisville, are you serious?
I understand they're a terrible conference, but check this out. We talk about Jordan Travis, how he went in there and they were down 13-0. Okay? We talk about how some of the games have been close and stuff like that. And like I said, what if Rodemaker's a bad dude? You know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
If they go out in Florida and Louisville and they beat convincingly and this dude just shows out, you can't hold him back. Now, if it's just a struggle, you know, and you can tell that they're not winning because of their quarterback, that whatever happens, that he goes out there and throws 10 passes and they run the ball. You know what I'm saying? Maybe that's different. But they still win, bro. You're penalizing teams for winning. You feel me? And like I said, I want Alabama in more than anything.
Sure, yeah, I get that.
But I've been through some things, you know what I'm saying? Like,
me too.
And sometimes I've had to sit there and look and be like, I might not have done nothing wrong, but that person might have thought I did something wrong.
Yeah.
You got to look on their side, you know what I'm saying?
For sure.
Look to see, we're really going to punish these kids? These are kids, remember. We have to remember all this.
Well,
we're going to punish them for winning?
And I think, so number one, Luke has high emotional intelligence because he's thinking about the overall greater of the good. Number two, look, Josh Pate, dude, that guy, I would rather him be on the committee than some of these other people. He has better, some of the best takes in college football.
Oh, yeah,
like if he was on the college football committee, I'd be like, all right, cool. Like Pate is on there. He has good takes. He could spit some knowledge. Because there's some of the other people that you're on there. You're like, wait, who are these people? I think though, like the thing that I'm going to, and you're right. Like who knows this Florida State quarterback, we're going to see him on Saturday. And the thing about it is same thing that's going to happen to Michigan. Michigan is playing for Jim Harbaugh. And these guys are now going to play for Jordan Travis, right? Like, let's go out and do it for Jordan Travis. So who knows? I mean, I think it's going to be, something that we're also zeroed in on is the play of him and to see if he can play that high level. And I'll tell you this, those wide receivers from Florida State, same with the wide receivers from Texas. Those guys are absolute monsters. And, and same thing with LSU and Ohio State. Like, that's the best receiving group along with all these sophomores for Alabama. Anything else, Luke, before I move to my next caller?
Look, man, now this isn't the devil's advocate. This is Luke right here. Jalen Milroe gonna walk Auburn down, bro. You heard that NLE Chopper song? He's gonna walk them down. All right, it does. I have this new feeling, like I've believed in Jalen forever, but now seeing him play through these games, and especially the Chattanooga game, he didn't let up. The only thing I didn't like about it, and it might have been because of his leg, that he was sitting in the pocket a little too long this time. He took that sack. There was times he could have escaped, but he didn't. Now I get it. We weren't playing a top tier team. He was probably standing in the pocket to scan the field. That's what I'm hoping. But besides that, he's been making the right decisions. And I don't think any team, if he doesn't see the ball or if he doesn't see a pass and he can run, they can't catch him. If he sees a pass, he's hitting them now. Short, long, it doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying? So that everybody has a problem if we get in.
Yeah.
I don't think Jalen Milroe is going to let anybody lose. I think when it comes down to it, he's going to Steph Curry it and take it on his shoulders if he has to. If people ain't catching the ball, he'll throw it to himself.
Yeah. No, I think I
like,
agree with you. He has an ability to just completely take over a game. And I don't even think that we've really seen him quite do that yet because he really hasn't had to. I think we saw kind of a glimpse of that against LSU. But I think if push comes to shove right now and Milroe goes into monster mode, it's done. There's be nobody else that can stop him in college football. Milroe in monster mode. I'm telling you, it's coming at some point. I don't know when it'll come, but you won't be able to stop it.
The man has already said he's basically jogging out there. He ain't even hit his full
that's
speed
what I'm
yet.
saying. He hasn't turned into monster mode. And once he does, it's over. And there'll be nobody else to stop it. You can't.
Next year, we play Georgia in the regular season. Next year, we have some trouble on our hands, and we need him next year. So I hope he comes back.
Yeah, no, I think he's definitely I think he's definitely coming back. All right, Luke, I got to move to my my next caller, man. But I hope you have a wonderful Thanksgiving. Enjoy your mac and cheese. Have a great day, and please root for the 49ers tonight, Luke. Thank you.
Oh, always, man. I love Brock Purdy, man. That man's a fucking
dude.
Sorry,
I'm telling you,
that man is talented. A perfect QB rating against the Bucks. Look, I was born in Houston and stuff, but I was raised in Tampa Bay, Florida. I love my Buccaneers. I love what Baker Mayfield is doing for that team.
Yep.
But he can only do so much. He has an offensive line problem, and I'm gonna get off here. But Brock Purdy, Mr. Irrelevant, is now relevant, and that man is a boss.
Yeah. No,
people keep saying he can't do it, that it's the team.
Yep.
Come on, man, stop it.
He's a monster.
But yeah, man, happy belated birthday. Glad to see you at 40 now. You look like you're 25, so that's good.
Thank you.
Yeah, man, happy Thanksgiving, man. Doing what you're doing, and we'll talk again, man. Let's watch the season play out.
All right, man. Take it easy, Luke. See you, buddy.
You too.
All right. Let's see. We got White Boy Magic. What's up? See, okay. So this is help me out, Magic. And I appreciate the comment inside the comment box. I get to my next callers. We got a 251, 201, and a 251 coming up next. But help me out because I think that Washington, their resume is starting to perk up there, but I don't list them like in the current resumes that I have built out. And let me know if you guys disagree with this. I list them and I update these after the playoff rankings, right? So like in my opinion, they only have 2 wins over top 25 teams, which is Oregon and Oregon State, because USC and Utah, as of right now, are not ranked within the top 25 in the college football playoff rankings. So that's kind of how I look at it when I put up these rankings. So White Boy Magic is saying Washington has the best resume and strength of schedule, beating 4 ranked teams. I have it at 2. He has it at 4, as they've beaten Oregon. I have them ranked, and Oregon State. Have those 2 teams ranked. If you count Arizona, who wasn't ranked, but now they are. So maybe we add, is Arizona ranked within the top 25? Because then I do need to update this graphic, and that would give them 3 top 25 wins. Same with Bama. And their strength of schedule is number 52 on Power Guru. They do have a good resume. The crazy thing is about Washington is everybody is kind of, see this bottom number on the bottom right, that plus 1,200? I think Oregon is like plus 700. So it's almost like, Vegas is right now filling, the Oregon Ducks and feel like, they can, win out this Pac-12 championship game. I do think that quarterback and the receivers for Washington too, I forgot their wide receivers. My goodness. People are talking about too, like, why doesn't Milroe want to come out or whatever for the draft? And I still don't think that he's completely finished, like in terms of a product. But plus, think about all the quarterbacks this year, man. Penix is absolute baller for sure, 100%. And we'll see how they do against Washington State and then against Oregon. Here down the stretch. The thing about Tommy Rees, and we were talking about this earlier, and I'll get to my next callers, and kind of in reference to the 49ers who play tonight, is I love how they're starting to use Kendrick Law, a.k.a. like a mini Debo Samuel. The crazy thing is Kendrick Law is like, I think he's like 210. Debo's like 220. And it just kind of shows you the versatility of, Debo. But what I like about the 49ers, and I think you're starting to see this with Kendrick Law, is that they're not afraid to put him in different areas on the field, even at running back. And the point is for Kyle Shanahan is get the best players to football. Plain and simple. And when you have McCaffrey, Deebo Samuel, George Kittle, Brandon Ayuk, Kyle Juszczyk, those are so many guys that you can distribute the football to, and you got to keep all those guys fed, and they do that. And the more that you can do that with Alabama's offense specifically, the more dangerous you can be. I love the touchdown pass that Robbie Oots caught. The crazy thing is Kyle Juszczyk, who plays for the 49ers, he's like 240. Robbie Oots is 260 pounds as an H-back. It's crazy. All right, we go back to the phone lines with the 251. Hey, how's it going? You're on the line with Kyle Henderson. Happy Thanksgiving to you. Who am I on the line with, and where are you calling in from?
Kevin, Dallas, Georgia, but I'm out of purgatory, Kyle. I'm back home in sweet home, Alabama.
Oh, nice,
Happy
man.
Thanksgiving.
Yeah, happy Thanksgiving, man. Kevin, it's
Happy
always
belated birthday. I remember when I was 40, Kyle, I had a hairline and a waistline, and as time has gone on over these 17 years, I have neither, but I digress.
Yeah.
But as far as, but I have to say this, Kyle, and as far as all the callers, and that is, gentlemen, in the words of the poet laureate, Aaron Rodgers, relax. All the dominoes will fall this weekend. Alabama has a 2-game schedule. First game, Auburn. Second game, Georgia. Third game is the next victim. Mm-hmm. And the fourth game is the next victim. Mm-hmm. Mr. Lawson, Mr. Key, eat as much Thanksgiving food that you want to eat today. I don't want either one of them to play this weekend, Kyle. Mm-hmm. Get them ready for Georgia. Mm-hmm. Get them ready for the playoffs. Mm-hmm. We don't need them as far as this weekend. We need Lawson and Key this weekend. Houston, we have a problem. As far as favorite Thanksgiving meal, Kyle, in the words of my late mother, anything that don't eat me is on the menu as far as today is concerned.
Well, those mashed potatoes aren't biting anybody, so I'm just saying.
Indeed.
Kevin,
Kyle, I have to say this, and that's in reference to one of the callers was talking about as far as not penalizing the kids. I know it's a different sport and it's a different time, but let's go back as far as the NCAA men's basketball tournament. Okay. Cincinnati was number one. God dog it, I forgot the young man's name. But they had their star player, 6'7", 6'8" guy. The only thing he could do was run and jump, but he tore up his knee. Okay. And they went from a number 1 seed to a 16th seed. So I'm not saying we penalized the team because of one injury. Yeah. But the thing is that, hey, it's not unprecedented. Yeah. So I just can't think of the doggone guy's name. But he played for the Nets with Jason Kidd as far as on their championship run. But that was a guy that was at Cincinnati that tore up his knee. Mm-hmm. So it's not unprecedented. Different sport, different time. Mm-hmm. But it's good, fellas. All the dominoes will fall this weekend. Mm-hmm. Florida State in the swamp is not a given. Mm-hmm. Ohio State, Michigan, there will be a loser. Yep. Washington, Oregon. The only thing Oregon has going for it, Kyle, is that they have 30 different uniforms. That's
it. They really do. Facts on that, I know we don't talk all the time, Kevin. I wish you would call him more because you're one of my favorite guys to chop it up with. But I want to get your take on this. The Alabama defense. And I know you don't want to see those guys play this weekend because, you need them in the SEC title game. But talk about how you've seen this defense, shine this season as opposed to how the defense was under Pete Golding. Is it really that big of a difference, or is it more of the guys that are on the field?
Kyle, once again, I have to go back to go forward, and I have to piggyback as far as a previous caller, and that is, if we would have had, I know ifs or fifths, we'd all be drunk, I know that, but as far as our present defensive coordinator, Mr. Steele. Yep. If Mr. Steele would have been here the past 2 years, we would have had a minimum, and I do mean minimum, 1. And I would even go as far as saying, just like if I'm playing Tonka, if I'm playing spades right now, I would even have to say we probably would have 2. because we had the most dominant offensive player and the most dominant defensive player for the previous 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
But yet we did not have anyone to put them in the position to do what they do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's been, just the transformation has been amazing, just kind of year over year. And with that said, I mean, Dallas Turner, the outside edge rushers are just absolute monsters. Anything else, Kevin, that's on your mind before we turn the page to our next caller when we look to this Iron Bowl game, or anything else that's kind of on your radar?
Well, as far as a teaspoon of seriousness, I'll take it back, a teaspoon of joking and a tablespoon of seriousness. Kyle, whatever you are eating and whatever you're drinking, hey, I need to make certain that whenever you're out with the boys that I can't be a man and ask for you as far as whatever your youth serum is. But I have to wait for you to leave so I can either go in through the back door, the windows, or the front door while you're leaving. Then I have to find out, what is this Kyle Henderson youth serum? And whatever it is, make sure that I don't leave a drop for you. But I take all, and especially as far as what's in reserve, so that I can use it for the next 50 years. But hey, Kyle, continue doing what you're doing. Have a blessed and enjoyable Thanksgiving with your family. And hey, look forward to speaking with you as far as after this win on Saturday.
All right, man. Take it easy. I appreciate it, Kevin. Thank you so much. All right. Thanks. Happy Thanksgiving to you. All right. That was Kevin out in Dallas, Georgia. He's back home in the beautiful state of Alabama. What was crazy when I first started talking to Kevin, when I started, because this is, I think, like the 5th year that I've been doing this on the Collins Show. We first called in. He was like, I'm from Dallas. And I was like, oh, I'm from New Mexico. And he was like, I was like, yeah, I lived in Texas and stuff like that. He's like, no, like Dallas, Georgia. So I always remember that when Kevin calls in. Yeah, Luke is right, man. Like Alabama basketball, I have to cover like one, sport at a time. It's just me. But this basketball team is just, what's crazy is the amount of points that they're scoring. They beat Morehead State 105-73. They beat Indiana State 102-80. They beat South Alabama 102-46. Mercer, they didn't hit the 100 mark, but they still scored 98. They play Ohio State tomorrow at 6 p.m. So definitely check that out after the Iron Bowl, because this the way that Nate Oates has this team rolling, absolutely phenomenal, completely rolling, and I can't wait to see what those guys do down the backstretch. Let's take another call. We got a 201. I'll try to get to you guys. And before I get out of here, I'm actually eating early today, so I'll take as many calls as I can. I see you, David. I'll try to get to you, but let's get to we got a 201 and a 251 ahead. So 201, let's do it. Hey, happy Thanksgiving. You're online with Kyle Henderson. Who am I on line with, and where are you calling in from?
Hey, Kyle, it's Adam calling from Georgia. Happy Thanksgiving.
Yeah, happy Thanksgiving to you, too. I really appreciate you calling in, and thank you very much for all the support this season. I know you really believe in the product, and I hope that, I've showed that I can deliver the consistency and a good place to talk college football and, of course, Alabama football. But with that said, happy Thanksgiving to you and yours, and I have to ask you, what's your favorite Thanksgiving side?
Stuffing.
No.
I love stuffing, and I probably eat more stuffing than I do of the turkey.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. Stuffing. It's I kind of go like ebbs and flows with the stuffing, but I do like stuffing. But I like to put the gravy on the stuffing. And one thing that we have that's kind of unique in New Mexico, because if you've ever been to New Mexico, the chili, the red chili, is completely different than any type of other chili that exists. It's kind of like a thicker, meat type chili. It's too hard to explain unless you've actually had it. But we put the kind of like the steak chili, what it would be for Thanksgiving, on our mashed potatoes and gravy. So like, not on the gravy, but like that is the gravy, if that makes sense. But it's only in New Mexico. Yeah. So that's kind of like the thing. So anyways, so with that being said, man, I appreciate you calling in, and take it away.
Yeah, I just had a couple of brief comments. In my view, if we win out, we're in, because look, between Ohio State and Michigan, someone's going to lose. Between Washington and Georgia, there's going to be another loss. And if we beat Georgia, then 3 of the top 8 teams will have lost. And I don't see any scenario in which they put Alabama below FSU without Jordan Travis. Not to mention, that with the eye test, we're one of the top 2 teams in the country, I think. What are your thoughts?
I mean, like I was chopping it up with Luke a little while ago. I mean, I feel that without Jordan Travis, it greatly, impacts his team. He was arguing that it's a team game overall, which I can totally see. And in fact, they said what he said on the playoff show. But what I'm harping about is that their overall resume and the fact that why doesn't this matter? This right here. And I keep saying it, but nobody will give me feedback. Maybe you will, Adam. If Alabama was losing, I know you guys are getting tired of hearing this, but it's the truth. If Alabama was losing 13-0 to Chattanooga, because it seems unthinkable, I guess. I don't know. Can you imagine what this week would be like if they were trailing 13-0? That would completely overshadow the fact that they had won the game 66-13. I just don't get why it's not being held the same accountability for Florida State. And I think it's because we all know that Florida State is more of a pretender than a contender. So we're like, people give them that grace. But if Georgia was down 13-0, if Michigan was down, anybody else, it's just like, why isn't this affecting that stat? Why are we overlooking that?
Oh, I totally agree with you. And I think, if we beat Georgia, we will have beaten the number 1 team in the country with a 29-game winning streak, and nobody can put that on their resume. And with these recent losses that the top 3 teams are going to have this weekend, I don't see how we get in. But speaking of Georgia, I mean, I don't understand. Maybe you can help me out with this, but why every time I see Georgia play, Brock Bowers is wide open? And I don't know how is it that this guy gets so open every time and nobody can cover him. I mean, I would think if we put Caleb Downs on there and bracketed him in coverage, we'd shut him down. I mean, why is he so tough to cover?
I think because I don't know why he's so tough to cover. The thing about him is not only does he find open zones within the defense and areas to, connect with Carson Beck, but also like the guy has Velcro-esque hands. Like you look to, some of the plays that he's made. Not only is he a great route runner, does he find holes in the defense, but he also has tremendous hands. Like no matter how you like, and we were talking about this a couple days ago, there's no way that you can stop him. You just have to somehow try to contain him. I think he might be overall the best player in college football. He's that good. He's that dynamic. I remember way back, I haven't met him, but I did talk to him during SEC Media Days in Nashville. And he's such a polished individual. And then Kirby Smart came on the back end and he was talking about the work that he puts in kind of behind the scenes, same as all these elite, soon to be pro guys. The guy's just an absolute baller. He's a game changer. And when Alabama faces him, he's going to be a tremendous problem. And Beck, the way that he's been playing as a quarterback, that guy is playing lights out. Same with some of the best quarterbacks in all of college football. He's playing at such a high level. So I don't know why he continues to be open, but credit to their OC and I think just him himself. I mean, the guy's a complete dominator.
Yeah, he's amazing. Well, again, Kyle, happy Thanksgiving. Great show, and roll Tide.
All right, roll Tide to you, Adam. Thank you so much, man. Happy Thanksgiving. All right, we got a 251. We'll jump right into it. Hey, you're on the line with Kyle Henderson. Who I'm on the line with and where you calling in from? I appreciate you being patient.
Hey, man. It's Robert from Mobile.
Hey, what's up, Robert? Thank you so much, man. Happy Thanksgiving to you and yours. I appreciate you being patient. What are you guys eating down there in Mobile, and what's your favorite Thanksgiving side?
Side?
Yeah.
Thanksgiving side? Oh, I guess macaroni and cheese. The homemade one, not out of the box.
So are you staying in the Mobile area?
Oh yeah. That never go anywhere.
And do you guys
weekend?
And do you guys do let me ask you this inside the comment box. I'm asking everybody. And White Boy Magic, I saw you had a question for me about Washington. I'll answer you in a second, or somebody did. And I'm going to ask Robert too, because Robert has good takes. This is a question for everybody in the comment box about turkeys. is a fried turkey like a all Alabama thing, or is it like a Northern Alabama thing, or like do they have fried turkeys down there as well, like down by the beach, or is it kind of just like, or I mean, I'm trying to figure this out because there we do you know, fried turkeys in New Mexico, but I was just kind of, you know, from the Alabama sake, is it like smoked, fried? What's your take on that, Robert?
Well, I think it's a southeast thing. I think it's the entire southeast. Yeah, it's definitely an all Alabama thing. I think Franco thinks it's the entire southeast United States.
All right. Yeah. Well, thanks for solving that for me. Well, I appreciate it. Okay. So someone asked me this inside the comment box. So before I get to your questions, do you feel that Washington has a good enough resume to be ahead of Michigan and Ohio State?
Oh, absolutely not. Yeah. I mean, this is shaping up really bizarre, and that, you know, they're especially the ESPN crowd, they want to claim that the Pac-12 is the best conference, which is, you know, patently ridiculous. And we'll find out really quick. Right now, what it's setting up for is a boat racing for either the Pac-12 champion or the ACC champion, if both of them happen to make it to the playoff. They'll get boat raced by Michigan and Georgia and or Alabama, and whoever makes it over them. So, you know, if whoever makes it in, they're not going to. And like you said, they're pretenders, especially Florida State. He went there starting quarterback, which, I mean, I really feel for the kid. That was a terrible injury. But they're going to get boat raced, and they know it. They just want to get in to say they're in. Or they say something good about the ACC is, you know, finally, or is coming back, and the Pac-12 finally is good. But we know how it's going to turn out when they get there. They're going to get destroyed, like they did. Although I give TCU credit, they somehow managed to beat Michigan last year, which, okay, yeah, because Michigan was a bigger pretender than we thought as well. The SEC, of course, is still the top of the SEC, which is, of course, Alabama and Georgia. Oh, it's still the best conference. And, you know, the tops. Okay, midway, there's the huge debate in the middle of your conferences. Yeah, there's a lot of debate there, although, you know, LSU now, let's start this season again with LSU now playing to get Florida State and the other teams. We'll see how that goes. Or even with Alabama, these teams have improved. And, you know, I guess people are saying, well, the committee's trying to set it up to where you can justify a 12-team playoff. Hey, that board has said a long time ago. We all knew we needed a 12-team playoff, but okay, yeah, this is re-emphasizing what we already know. We need an expanded playoff for these type scenarios that, you know, Alabama's getting penalized for playing a good team early in the season, whereas everybody else got to play pancake you and get their teams jelly and then play tougher teams. Well, I guess Alabama should do that next year. Fortunately, okay, 12-team playoff fixes all that. So we can get the good games early, and the teams who dare to play them aren't eliminated. Because you got to pick it up, but you have to pick it up anyway. It's how you play at the end of the season that matters really anyway, the most anyway. So, yeah, it's unfortunate we're here now. But, yeah, we don't still control our own destiny. I guess the SEC doesn't necessarily control its own destiny if Georgia doesn't win out. Because, you know, it's possible that the two best teams in college football won't be a single one of them will be in the playoffs with the way things are. But I think, I believe Florida is going to beat Florida State and get that going for us. Now, if Oregon beats Washington, I mean, there's your debate. It's really not even a debate there either. You guys have pointed out all the ways that Texas and Alabama should be over Oregon. Oregon is not the best one-loss team. What the committee is saying, Oregon is the best one-loss team.
Yes.
That's just stupid.
Yes.
And they know it. They're doing this intentionally. I don't know why. I guess it's Alabama fatigue. I guess it's SEC fatigue. Isn't it amazing, though, Kyle? No one is as sick of Georgia winning as they are Alabama.
Yeah.
People would still wouldn't mind Georgia winning 3 in a row than Alabama winning this season. It's like, really? Okay, I know Georgia ain't quite
I think that just shows you the whole decade of torture that Coach Saban gave to the world of college football. Yeah, I mean it's hard to shake. So you kind of see like Georgia, and you're like, well, that doesn't bother me as much. But for 10 consecutive seasons, or because I was looking at the past SEC title, the SEC champ, there was that gauntlet of runs where Alabama won like 7 in a row or something like that. So I think that, kind of the fatigue that people have on Bama. Plus, I think it's this, that if you're an opposing coach, because really, if you look at the 3 polls, we don't really look to the AP or talk about the coaches poll much. When the coaches poll are like the actual coaches, and then you have the college football playoff rankings, the only poll that really gave Alabama, that had them ranked higher was the coaches poll. And I think what that tells me is at the end of the day, if you put Oregon, Texas, and Alabama into a room, nobody wants to face that Alabama team right now, how they're playing right now. And to your point as well, Oregon should be behind Texas and Alabama. They just don't have the resume to do it. Washington hasn't lost a game, so it's hard to put them behind a one-loss team. Granted, they did beat Oregon, who just has 1 loss, but overall, the Pac-12, I'm just not buying it. I know that the past doesn't dictate the future, but overall, I just don't think that the defensive component is there for these teams. Other than Oregon State, who has a moderately okay defense. We've seen it in the past, but as of right now, I think they're high potent offense and more pretenders than contenders.
No, yeah, absolutely. Going to the Iron Bowl, of course, which I guess all these Auburn fans think we're just overlooking them right now. Mm-hmm. Which, I mean, we kind of are. We can overlook you all we want. It's Alabama team that can't overlook you. Going to the Iron Bowl, Alabama's it's just too much to prove right now. This has all the makings of 2011 42-14 beatdown written all over it. Mm-hmm. Alabama's they're still fighting for our lives and to get to the play for the national championship. We need to make a statement win, the same like we did in 2000. They need to do in 2011, and we're trying to keep a good streak going right now as far as being prepared to go to the national championship. Play for a national championship. Mm-hmm. Auburn, you're just picking a bad time to be in the way. Mm-hmm. Your voodoo dolls and your witch doctors are just not going to overcome this A train that's about to hit you because you just don't have the horses. And Alabama is just too determined right now. Mm-hmm. People say, what about the 2000? 2021, when the same situation, Auburn was a lousy team, mm-hmm. and we struggled. Yeah, but here's the big difference between that team, the 2021 team, and today. His name starts with Pete and ends in Golding. Mm-hmm. He's not there, so he will not help you stay in the game with his incompetent defensive play calls. So you're not going to score. And Jalen Milroe has got the lights on, and he'll rush you for 150 yards if he has to mm-hmm. to keep that distance. So you're not. I mean, Auburn just has no chance. And this is one of the Iron Bowls I am so not worried about. The only thing that bugs me is if we don't cover the spread and make that impression win. We have no reason to let Auburn stay in this game. This should not be 4 quarters. If it's 4 quarters, then man, we're gonna need some greater chaos to get that nod. If we let Auburn make this 4 quarters, and we barely beat them by 3.
And I think that's unfair to Alabama because even though this, Alabama's favored by 14.5, or maybe it's gone up since I last looked at it. It's just this is the Iron Bowl, and I agree with you. Alabama, if you look into all the positions, Alabama has them beat, but this game is just weird. We all know that. And what happened was with New Mexico State beating Auburn, there I said it again, now the country is going to look at this game and be like, if Alabama doesn't win this game 50-0, then this isn't the Alabama team that we're accustomed to because New Mexico State beat them last week 31-10. I mean, Auburn has been practicing for Alabama for 17 days? I mean, even the players said it. So I think that kind of hurts Alabama. But what we do need to see from Alabama is just consistency. We need to win the game. There's no, talk to Coach Saban about that. He'd be completely livid if we're talking about beating them by this amount of points. But I think at the end of the day, these style points certainly matter. They had to beat Chattanooga. We don't usually see Coach Saban put 66 on Chattanooga, but I think in the back end, he knows that style points certainly matter. With that said, you got to play 4 quarters of play. But Robert, I appreciate you calling in. I hope you have a fantastic Thanksgiving down in Mobile, and I really appreciate all your support.
Catch you later, man.
All right, man. Take it easy. Robert down in Mobile calling in on the Thanksgiving. All right, 470, man. This is gonna be my last call. I'm gonna take David, and then we'll end the show right now. All right, David, what's up, man? I appreciate you calling in. Happy Thanksgiving to you and yours. What are you guys making down there in Louisiana? You guys frying a turkey?
We making bologna sandwiches down here in Louisiana.
No, I mean, look,
really, actually, we really probably are gonna make some bologna sandwiches today because, or whatever, because family kind of far away from each other, and this weekend is gonna be given. But my favorite side was gonna be cranberry sauce. I could eat a whole can of cranberry sauce.
Yeah. No one's mentioned that so far. Right. All right, cranberry sauce it is. So, so you got bologna sandwiches and cranberry sauce. Hey, food is food. It's all good. Okay, so David, what's on your mind, man? Welcome to the show. It's really good to talk to you today on Thanksgiving.
Yeah, you too, brother. You too. This weekend's going to be a good game. I believe Alabama's going to go in and just take care of business. I love the little interviews between Kool-Aid and Roydell the other day. I think if they finish up the season, they could jump on in the SEC and probably at least one Alabama team would win a national championship in basketball. That was some funny stuff right there. As far as everybody been talking about Washington and FSU and everything else with the rankings like they are. You know, I do agree with you 100% that the way Alabama's playing right now, defensively and offensively, there's nobody in the country that wants to line up against Alabama. That they've been on a roll. Milroe's been pretty accurate lately. He's been using his legs, and he's saving his full speed, I believe, for the Georgia Poodles when we play them December the 4th. Mm-hmm. As far as I heard your last caller talk about Florida State lining back up against LSU the way LSU's playing right now. LSU might could beat them, but LSU doesn't have a defense that could stop a bunch of grannies on a bunch of hover rounds with the batteries almost dead on them. I've watched LSU a couple times, and they just don't have no defense whatsoever. But I think everything's going to line out this weekend. I honestly believe that the way Oregon State played against Washington, I know that it was a rainy game and it was cold, but they brought Washington down to the wire, in a 22-20 win. I believe that if Oregon State can come in and play 4 good quarters, they may give Oregon a run for the money and could possibly beat them. Washington State, most likely Washington's going to win that game, but you never honestly know. The way Michigan played against Maryland and the way Ohio State's been pretty much dominant on their side of the football, I believe Ohio State's going to pull that one out. Georgia Tech, I don't think Georgia Tech is going to come close to beating Georgia, but, it's football. You just never know. It's just kind of like with the Iron Bowl. Alabama was playing, I think it was against Cam Newton one time, and Alabama was up like 28-0 or something like that at halftime, and then Cam Newton and them come back and actually beat us in a game. It's football. You never know how the cards align. It just takes one pick six or fumble or whatever to alter a game. And I honestly want to see Alabama and Georgia. I want to see Georgia undefeated when we play them in the SEC championship on the 4th. If we do beat them, that gives us a lot better resume, and there's no reason for the committee to say to keep us out. Mm-hmm. I hope Texas Tech beats Texas this weekend. That'd be great, because the way Texas has been playing their last 3-4 games, they have not been closing them out like Alabama has been, or some of these other teams has been. Mm-hmm. They're not playing a second half. or complete 4 quarters. And I even heard Sark mention that. He said, we're not closing games out like we should.
Mm-hmm.
And you never know. And I think Texas is playing at Texas Tech this
No, the game's in Austin.
That would be great to see Texas Tech go in there, the little Raiders, and just shut that whole crowd down and empty the stadium by the end of the 4th quarter.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be awesome. You know, I mean, the cards still got to line out. The moon's got to line up with the earth somehow, and the sun, and whatever. Things can line out for the advantage of Alabama. You know, they still got conference championship games and everything else. And like I said, Bama's just got to go in and play 4 quarters. We can't come out on with our heels still stuck in the ground against Auburn or against Georgia. We got to come out fast, not only on offense but defense as well. You know, when we play Georgia, it's got to be 3 and outs, as many as possible, so our offense has a chance to play. And you know, McConkey, whatever his name is, he has a little injury. I don't know if he's day to day or what. Brock Bowers still, you know, he has that ankle injury, but he was playing very well last weekend, but that could be something that could be aggravated again this weekend or whatever. There's all these things that could possibly happen, and I just believe Alabama's got a very, very good chance, higher chance than what this sorry committee thinks of us making it to the playoffs and winning out. And but anyway, brother, I know you're probably hungry. I'm hungry. Go grab me a can of Vienna sausages and some crackers or something, and kick back and just enjoy this beautiful day. You know, one thing I want everybody to know is that just to remember to be thankful that you woke up this morning, and the air that God gave you to breathe is a precious thing. And spend time with your family and be thankful for your family, even if you don't agree with anything. I'm the only Alabama fan in my family. The rest of them are them little LSU stripeless tigers that are still crying over the hit that Dallas Turner put on him. I'm telling you, for the past 3 weeks or however long it's been, they still crying about it. But with that being said, God bless each and every one of you. God bless this great country. And roll tide. Auburn, we're coming for you. Have a blessed one, brother.
All right, you too, David. Thank you so much. All right, if I didn't get to you today, I will get to you guys tomorrow. I'll be on live as well at 9 a.m. on Friday. So I really appreciate you guys watching and supporting. Special thanks to our men and women who are overseas, who are away from their family, protecting this great country. We want to definitely, thank them, because freedom isn't free. And then my message today, what I'm thankful for is I'm thankful for you guys. I think you guys, have definitely been showcasing your support for the channel, which I really appreciate. I'm appreciative for my son and my daughter and my mother and my family, who is very supportive. And, I'm really just blessed to be here and continue to cover the Alabama Crimson Tide and college football in general. The call-in show is something that I really look forward to. And I encourage everyone today to just be present, be where your feet are, enjoy the time that you have with your loved ones. And I really appreciate your guys' continued support of the channel. So from beautiful Tuscaloosa, Alabama, my name's Kyle Henderson of Bama Football Tonight. If you guys could do me one favor and hit the subscribe button, and if you guys can root for the 49ers tonight against the Seahawks, that would be great. From beautiful Tuscaloosa, Alabama, Kyle Henderson, Bama Football on YouTube. Happy Thanksgiving, and I'll catch up with you next time.